Hey guys, you're back with Dan, and today I'm doing a video which is a little bit original. I haven't seen much of it out there on the internet, but I thought you guys might like it. It's called, what am I going to call it? I'm going to call it a product unboxing. So this is the product I've been waiting for 2 weeks, but it felt more like 2 years because I'm a really impatient idiot. It's the Vernee Mix 2. Now you're probably thinking, what the hell is a Vernee Mix 2? Well, if you asked me the same question about a month ago, I'd probably say the same thing. But what I will tell you is that this is a goddamn awesome phone. And it cost me, this is Australian dollars, it cost me about 250 bucks. The specs of this beat most of the flagship mobile phones out there. I mean, it's got more RAM than the iPhone X and Pixel 2, you know? So you can't cough and sneeze at that. So let's take a look at the box. So here's the box, looks pretty cool. It's kind of a weird square shape. I obviously kind of expect like a rectangle box these days, but anyway, it's pretty cool. It's got this cool texture to it, which makes a satisfying noise. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Vernee Mix 2, turning it over. That was a bit hectic. Shenzhen Yubun Technology Company Limited is the owner of Vernee. I still don't know why they chose the name Vernee. It's kind of cute, I guess. I like the name. I like Jules Verne. That's what it reminds me of every time I read it. If you don't know who Jules Verne is, seriously. So what do we got? We've got the Helio P25 octa-core processor. That is a 2.5 gigahertz processor. It's quite fast compared to most on the market these days. It's got a 6-inch 18:9 screen, which is kind of a longer screen. Most new phones these days are this longer style screen. Got the 6 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of ROM, which is kind of, well, let's be honest, 6 gigabytes of RAM is really good these days. You don't really see that in many phones. Even the iPhone X doesn't have that much, so that's pretty damn good. 13 megapixel camera, which is awesome, but I wouldn't say this is the best feature of this phone. It's not, from what I can see online, it's not actually that good. It's got a pretty good battery. 4200 milliamp hours, quick charge, fingerprint, 4G LTE, dual SIM, who cares, and Android 7. Alright, let's see what's inside the box. Cool, so we've got the phone on top, I'd say. It's nice soft packaging. Underneath we got some god-awful looking charger from Europe, for Europe. A normal micro USB charging cable. Australian adapter. Looks like we got some, I love putting these things on. Screen protectors, one for the front, one for the back, I believe. Because it has a, yeah, that's the back one, got the hole in there. It's got a glass back to the phone. I think it's a greetings. Greetings, dear Vernee user, lowercase v. At first, thanks so much for your support. To provide you with the best user experience, we will push out optimized OTA updates once a month. We'll see about that, mate. Update your device, blah blah. This is how you update your device, cool, whatever. I guess that's to get the SIM out. And the manual with microscopic text. I love that. Oh well. At least I made it for idiots in mind who don't know how to use a phone. And a case. It's kind of nice they give you a case. I mean, like, it's always a pain to try and find a case you like, but I always went for the clear cases, and that's exactly what they gave me. Not too sure about these bumpers on the edge, but I guess that really protects the phone when you drop it on an angle. But yeah, no, that's cool. Alright, so let's look at the phone. Now let's take it out of this bag. Ooh, it's got a nice heavy feel to it. It's quite what's the word? It feels heavy, but it feels quality. Like, it's got, these are metal edges that just feel cool to the touch. This is gonna sound good. Oh shit. Yeah, that's cool. That's very shiny. Jesus. Shine, shine, shine. Alright, there's the front. Let's take this bad boy off as well. Ooh, that just looks slick. Nice and slick. Cool. Alright, well, let's just turn this thing on. Ooh, Vernee. There you go. Looks quite bright on the screen. Kind of is. Yeah, I mean, it feels nice. It feels quality. I really don't want to drop this thing. I should really be putting this protector on, shouldn't I? Well, I tried to put the bloody screen protector on and I failed dismally, as usual. So yeah, the screen looks amazing. It looks quite clear. Everything's quite bright and colourful. I wouldn't say it's lacking in any contrast or anything like that. Yeah. So from here, I'm just gonna test the phone for a day or so, and just kind of report back how good the phone is for, you know, its price point, which is very cheap, and let you know an honest review. So I've been using the phone for about a day now, and it's been pretty good. I think it's probably one of the better phones I've ever used, but it does have some flaws, I guess you could say. So I mean, the first thing you can probably tell is that it's quite a thick phone. So compared to, well, I guess the iPhone 6, I guess is the best comparison you can use. It's kind of, I'd say it's probably 1/3 thicker than that. The actual screen's probably the best part of this phone. It's actually really clear. I don't know if you can tell by that, probably not. But it's just really clear. It's probably one of the better screens I've used. One of the annoying factors is definitely is the notification light. It's really freaking bright. So one thing I do miss is the tap to unlock, because this phone does not have that. It's essentially this push button, or if you use the fingerprint scanner, that will also open it, but unfortunately you can't tap to open. You're going to see my password. I'm not going to complete my password because you're going to see what that is. So the biggest letdown I think for the whole phone is the camera. Essentially it's just really blurry. I don't know, it's just not quality, especially indoors. You just don't get the kind of sharpness you'd like in darker areas. And I'll go through some of those images now just so you can see what they're like. So here's a picture of my cat inside. She just looks a little flat, especially when you zoom in. Just doesn't have the kind of sharpness you'd want. Here's a photo from outside. There's just really not much depth to the actual image. It just kind of looks a bit flat and muted. Here's a cityscape. You can see it's quite bright in this shot, hence why there's so much detail, but if you have less detail, as I say, you just don't get that quality. This shot of the train tracks is alright, but you can see on the right side of the image it just looks a bit muted. Obviously these shots of this building nearby my work is also quite nice. The stock app showed actually quite clearly what's going on. I didn't have too much of the autofocus going on, but when it did, it was annoying. But, you know, it's good. For what it is, it did the job. So what do I think of this phone? I think for the price, 250 bucks Australian, this is a really solid phone to get. It does everything you want apart from take really nice photos. It takes decent photos, but it's really not the best. Screen's awesome. The battery life is really good so far. I mean, I've only tested it for one day, but it's held up pretty well. Here's a handy tip. I kind of wish I knew this. To put screen protectors on, don't do it in a normal setting like I just did and failed really badly. Apparently, if you run a shower in a bathroom for a while, the mist in the air or the steam in the air will actually pull the dust particles to the ground or up and around, but it won't be in the air, and you can apply the screen protector easily. And it's easier to get out water bubbles than dust bubbles, I guess. That's what I read, so there's a handy tip for you. The cat's just licking me. Hello cat. Lick. Yes, Minerva, I love you too. But yeah, anyway, so definitely I'd recommend this phone if you don't have the money for the iPhone X or the Pixel. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description to where you can buy it if you want to buy that. Anyway guys, take it easy, I'll see you in the next video.